it was kind of mind-blowing going to China because I had heard about it, what the anime gaming and comic space was like over China, but actually seeing it was just a whole nother level. So went over to Shanghai and the Bilibili team took care of me. The second main reason after meeting Howlin was I just wanted to try all of the food. I was like, okay, anime, gaming stuff, all right, that's cool. Let's just go to as many good restaurants as possible. Bilibili, hit me up with the good stuff. And so I was like, I ate like a fucking king over there. We had all of the Chinese food from all of the different even though I say Chinese food, it was like there was no food where I had the same cuisine. We started off with like Shanghainese food, then we went to get some dim sum, hot pots, some Cantonese food as well. It was that was like okay, wait, you want me to film a vlog as well? Okay, well I think most of this vlog is gonna be food actually. And then they took me to some of the events and some of the malls that had like some normal malls and some malls that were basically very anime gaming centric. And I did not realize how intense the culture was over there. Like, holy shit. I actually think it was as intense, if not more, than going to Akihabara sometimes. There was this one mall where it was like just 6 floors of anime and gaming stores, and it was literally like going to one of the malls in Akihabara. And we went on just like a random weekday and it was still busy as and I asked them, is there normally this many people? And they were like, no, this is a really quiet day. Normally it's like shoulder to shoulder, this mall. And I'm like, holy shit, this is actually insane. And what I think was the most surprising thing was just the amount of collaborations that they had over there. That was the biggest thing that was surprising to me. I'm used to some like collab cafes popping up here and again here in Japan, some like pop-up exhibitions and stuff like that, but it's not like something that happens every single day. But when we went over there, we went to this random mall and there was this massive JoJo exhibit on one side and there were just like cosplayers chilling out in a random mall. It was honestly like going to Anime Expo. There was this random JoJo exhibit, and then you go a floor down, and then there's this massive Mob Psycho 100 exhibit, and then you go to like a different space, and then there's this Hunter x Hunter exhibit, and then there's a manga exhibit of a manga that I had not even heard of. And I was talking to the people there, and they were like, yeah, this is just like this every single day of the year. This is one of the quiet days, and even on one of the quiet days, it honestly felt like going to an exhibition hall in Anime Expo with just like cosplays chilling out and just hanging out there. And we went on a random Thursday, man. Did you get recognized over there? Yes, I did. That's what was most surprising. I was like, ain't nobody knows me in China. And I somehow still got recognized over there. I was like, what? How do you know who I am? This is super fucking weird. How have I never heard China was like that? They were so close, man. Yeah, I think it's just like the lack of content that, we get exposed to. Just walking down the street, there were so many collab cafes with different, mostly was like Chinese anime IPs. There was this huge cordon off section where you had like traditional Chinese buildings, like, it was kind of like reminded me of like old Shanghai. You had traditional Chinese buildings. And then they just paired all these traditional old Chinese buildings. It's like going to Kyoto, right? It's like going to the more traditional temple areas of Kyoto. But then you just see anime characters everywhere. You see anime being plastered on the wall of these traditional Chinese buildings. it's and you see cosplayers everywhere. And I'm like, this is so fucking weird. You should have a Bilibili account and release videos in that platform with Chinese subs. Yeah, I mean, I never really considered it, but yeah, it definitely was surprising to me because obviously I knew about how big anime was there and how big Chinese anime was there, but I had no idea about the intensity of the fan base there. Super eye-opening. And we did not even get into this was like purely anime. I do not want to know how intense the gacha the gacha space there is, because I heard some stories about some collaborations. I think it was like when Hoyoverse or something collaborated with KFC or something, and Lord have mercy, I have heard some stories from the Hoyoverse employees about how much of a nightmare those collaborations can be to run, and now I can believe it. Now I believe it, man. Have you checked out the anime merch over there? I've heard everything's fairly cheap. Yeah, I think the biggest surprise for me was there was officially licensed anime merch, which isn't surprising. The biggest surprise for me was like, I think it's actually cheaper than it is in Japan. I got this Ava denim jacket at the Evangelion store, and this is about $500. Sorry, not $500. This is about 500 RMB, which I believe is about $60. And I'm thinking, if I bought this like in America, this would at least be like for officially licensed merch, it would possibly be closer to like $80, $90, or probably even more. I've seen some expensive anime merch out there. I think it would even be 120. Yeah, probably. It's especially for like officially licensed Ava merch. So it's things like you can get cool stuff over there that is officially licensed that I think is actually cheaper than you can get elsewhere. So, and that was like the high end for, some of the stores we can find there. Jean jacket is pretty hefty. Yeah, this is a thick jacket. Unfortunately, I can't wear it here in Japanese summers. This is going to be when we change seasons. But it's a pretty damn thick jacket. And Sydney got herself some Ava purses and stuff like that.